Cannibals are attacking, driven from their homes ironically by something that's better at eating flesh than they are. And so, instead of trying to band together with the rest of us, no, they stick to their old ways, reaving this land even as we struggle. We know what's coming, and if it's driven the cannibals from their land, well, their numbers must be larger than we thought. Well, Canhead and his ilk have picked the wrong place to attack. We will end his path of destruction here while we still have the time. Ready yourselves, everyone! Canhead wants a fight. Let's show him he was better off fighting the zombies! Canhead and his men tried, oh they did. But I think they bit off more than they could chew. The fighting was fast, combatants on each side skilled in their movements. Overwatch from our crossbows rained bolts onto them as we cut through them. I believe Canhead was surprised at the ferocity of what I'm sure he thought were just farmers and old soldiers. Well, joke's on him, isn't it? Defeated and broken, I stood above him victorious. His cannibals would never bother us again, and I would see to it that they would be punished. And I'll turn them into my own shields if I have to. It's more than they deserve. We were approached by a man claiming to have seen the entire city of Sho-Battai abandoned. Everyone else in the bar didn't pay him any mind, but the man seemed genuine. I told the guys, and we figured we needed to make a trip to the city, we may as well entertain it. So after telling him we'll go there for 400 cats, he was more than happy to turn it over and send us on our way. We made camp and decided to get some rest, intending to investigate the so-called ghost city in the morning. Maybe by then the so-called spirits would have left. Night came and went with nothing exciting. We did our best to sleep as the dust storms howled outside. Eventually the cool air was replaced by a dry heat. We knew it was morning. We broke camp, had our breakfast, and headed out. When we got to the city, well, it was as we were told, the total ghost town. It made no sense. This was a fairly large city and in a more well-patrolled area. If the Dune renegades, rebel farmers, or peasants had made a move, surely you would have heard about it at World's End. Now, this is something more. And now that you've been made aware of it, you can feel your old senses coming back to you. Your youth spent cannibal hunting. Your adult years spent chasing down mighty leviathans for their pearls. Sure, it's been a while since you've been active, but you still have Little John, Shackleford. You're confident the three of you can figure out what's going on. For now, decide to make your way back to World's End. You need to report what you've seen. Maybe someone there will have an answer. Whatever's going on makes your hair stand on its ends. We asked around some more, gathered a few rumors from town, and it led us to Lorstead, a sleepy fishing village on the northern coast. It was there that we would learn more of this new threat. The people there knew about as much as we did. Wasn't fogmen, wasn't cannibals. No bandits do what they've done. Leaving for the cannibal plains, we told the people of Lorstead we would return as soon as possible with news. We considered asking the cannibal hunters to come with us, but if things did get bad, it's better that they're here to defend this region. As we made our way into the cannibal plains, we happened to find an old shack, structure still standing, and we cleared out the few cannibals that were there. And we decided to make our base for the night. We'd sleep in shifts so no one could sneak up on us. Little John took first watch. The night was uneventful. In the morning, we continued scouting the plains. The sun beat down on our backs as we crossed the desert. The sound of the winds and birds cast a surreal calmness to the area, one that we knew was false. We ran into a few groups of cannibals, but nothing we couldn't handle. Most of them weren't used to their food playing with them. This new enemy of ours, they were tearing through the cannibals. And from what we could tell, some of the cannibals were even turning on each other. More than you'd expect, anyway. We even saw the same clan fighting each other, something that's not common. They battled like animals, cutting each other, laughing, demons possessed, but even worse. While we watched, we didn't notice the shriekers sneaking up on us. I tried to communicate, but I may have insulted them or their mother. I'm not sure, but at least in the end, they weren't that skilled. We stayed away from the larger groups as we scouted around, and we've come to the conclusion that whatever these things are, they're sick. Whatever it is, it's spreading. Cannibals are changing too. Little John thinks they'll all be gone within the month. I'm inclined to believe him. With nothing left to learn, we left the plains and returned to Lorstead, sharing what information we had found. We did what we could to convince people to join us in a proactive defense, and while we couldn't get the entire town, in the end, we did get a decent amount of people fired up, ready to take arms and fight these freaks. At night, while we rested, the cannibals, desperate, made a bold attack against Lorstead itself. Lorstead's defenders did well at first, and when we heard the alarm, we joined in as well. I almost felt pity for them. They seemed scared, lost. Honestly, mostly felt good. One by one, they fell. I don't think they expected a real defense. Then again, given the amount they attacked us with, wasn't even a real raid. Their attack failed. They tried to flee, only for us to chase them down like a wounded animal. With the defense a success, we returned back to our quarters for the night, preparing ourselves for tomorrow. Marching out, we made our way up the northern coast, hunting down groups of monsters before they got close to town. It was honestly easy. The problem was, they just kept coming. We'd cut down dozens, and it seems like there was no end. We did our best to hold them, fighting with everything we had, and more. As night fell and our exhaustion grew, we withdrew to town, making our way to the bar for some rest, before we would be at it again tomorrow. Relaxing inside, I closed my eyes for a second and focused on the rain. The sound of the metal roof giving me a moment of peace. I open my eyes and a man is standing before me. He knows of our exploits and wants to help us. He's heard of a place where the zombies are seemingly coming from, some ruins in the middle of the Foglands. I'm skeptical at first, but Shackelford tells me that he heard the same rumor. Feeling a bit more confident, I tell the group that we'll head out first thing in the morning. We never got the chance though. In the morning, we were informed a large horde was coming towards us. Informing the rest of the group, we made our way to what would become the largest battlefield we'd seen yet. We started fighting, holding our own as best we could. I'm starting to feel a little bit more like my old self. And I gotta say, it feels great. And the others we brought along are catching on quick. Weirdest thing though, even the goats helped us. It seems like nature is rejecting these freaks. Good for it. Sustaining a little injury, we decide to follow up on the rumor, start traveling towards the Foglands. Who knows what we might find there.